welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay, our mission today is pretty clear. We're cutting through all the noise, really getting you those lethal insights into a massive event. We are diving deep, properly deep, into the fourth test. India versus England at Old Trafford, July 23rd to the 27th. And look, by the time we finish up here, you'll really grasp the nuances of this one. It's a critical test match, and you'll see the forces playing underneath.
Absolutely. And the tension, you can feel it, can't you? England are leading 2-1. So for India, this is it. It's do or die. We're going to unpack everything, really. The weather, which is always a character in England, pitch conditions, and yeah, those individual players who might just step up and define the series.
Yeah, and think of this deep dive as your shortcut,
Yeah.
Get properly informed. We'll dig out some surprising facts, maybe a bit of humor, and hopefully give you that aha moment. It kind of changes how you watch the game. So the series is right on a knife edge, isn't it? Let's really unpack the context here. England, they've got this chance, this golden opportunity to seal the whole thing right here.
Right.
While India, well, they have to win. No ifs, no buts. Win and force that decider down at the Oval. The stakes are just, well, sky high for both teams.
And Old Trafford itself, you have to look at the history there. It's almost like another player on the field. England's record. It's formidable. Seriously. They've lost just once in 18 tests at Old Trafford.
Wow, only once?
Yeah. So the big question for India, that's sort of elephant in the room, they haven't managed a test win there for 3 decades, 30 years. Now, what does that do? Does that history just crush them? Or maybe, just maybe, it frees them up, the nothing to lose underdog kind of thing. It's fascinating psychologically.
That's exactly it. It's not just about the runs on the board or the wickets taken. This one feels like it's about rewriting history, especially for India. Breaking that 30-year drought, beating England in their fortress, that's huge. Okay, then, let's talk about the stage itself, the battlefield. What's the weather looking like? And the pitch. Weather-wise, looks like about a 60% chance of rain on day one morning, so yeah, pack your umbrellas. Maybe your Lucky Charms, too. Cricket and English rain, it's a classic pairing, isn't it? Often frustrating.
Definitely.
And maybe some light showers creeping in on day 5, too.
Right. And the pitch, well, reports are saying it's green, it's damp, slow, and surprisingly flat, seems to have lost that typical Old Trafford bounce, which makes it look like a potential battleground for the spinners. That's quite a shift, really.
A spinner's pitch at Old Trafford. Interesting.
Yeah, and the insight there, the crucial bit, is it's not just good for spinners. It could actually pose a real challenge for India's pace attack, their traditional strength. They might have to get creative, find different ways to take wickets. Every session becomes a bit of a gamble tactically.
What's really interesting, that idea you hear sometimes that pace could sort of spark off the rain. Remember Steve Harmison saying he wanted a shower to revive the pitch. Sounds a bit mad, but it highlights how much the conditions dictate things, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And the implication is huge. If that rain does show up, this pitch could completely change character. It could morph. Teams will have to adapt fast. Adapt or, well, drown, metaphorically speaking.
Right.
So that fluidity, it means the captains, their ability to read conditions, adjust strategy, not just day by day, but maybe even hour by hour.
Yeah.
It becomes absolutely vital. It's another layer of chess in an already intense match.
Okay, so we've got the physical battlefield, the pitch, the weather. But what about the combatants, the players themselves? Let's look at the likely team, starting with India.
Right. India's probable AU. Looks like Jaiswal and Rahul opening. Then Nair, or maybe Sudharshan at 3, Gill captaining, of course, Pant or Jural with the gloves, then Jadeja, Sundar, Bumrah, Siraj, and looking like a debut for Kamboj. There's maybe an outside chance of Prasidh instead of, say, Siraj.
Bumrah's back, that's big.
Huge! And it signals India probably going back to that specialist pace attack, which is fascinating, isn't it, given what we just said about the pitch being slow and flat. Is loading up on pace a calculated risk? Or maybe a misread if it does turn into a spinner's duel? That's the question.
And any milestones to watch?
Yeah, a couple of big ones. KL Rahul is getting close to 9,000 runs. And Shubman Gill, he's chasing Rahul Dravid's record for most runs in a test series against England. Dravid got 602. Gill's already got 3 tons this series.
Impressive. Okay, now for England, their likely lineup and their whole approach.
England probably looking at Crawley, Duckett, Pope, Root, Brooke, Stokes captaining, Ben Smith keeping wicket, then Dawson, Wokes, Karse, and Jofra Archer.
Ah, Dawson in for Bashir.
Exactly, and that's not just swapping one spinner for another. Dawson brings that left arm variation, which is crucial, and he adds real batting depth lower down. It strengthens their tail significantly.
And the Bazball factor. Still full throttle.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
We're hearing baseball with brains. It's still aggressive. That's their DNA now under Stokes and McCullum. But it seems more refined, more tactical. It's about calculated pressure, knowing when to attack, but also when to maybe absorb a bit, consolidate. It's evolved.
Right. Makes sense.
Mm.
So with those teams likely taking the field, let's zero in on the key matchups, the individual battles that could really swing this test.
Yeah, some potentially explosive duels. Bumrah coming back.
Wow.
How will he go against Crawley and Duckett with the new ball? Especially if there is a bit of green seam early on. Can he dominate them?
That's a big one.
Then you've got Dawson, the left armor, against India's lineup, which is pretty right-hander heavy.
Right.
Will he exploit that slow turn we expect from the pig?
Good.
And then, pure pace versus technique. Joffer Archer, or maybe Bryden Carr steaming in against Rahul and Jaiswal. That's always a great contest to watch. Pace against real batting grit.
Okay, and what about the batting titans? Who are the key run getters we should keep a close eye on?
Well, Joe Root at Old Trafford, his record there is just, well, ridiculous. 978 runs at an average of 65. He's still England's banker, definitely. But the question now, under Bazball, is does he need to score faster too?
Yeah, the tempo.
And for India, Shubman Gill chasing that milestone, like we said, he's already the only Indian captain with 3 test tons against England. Can he go even bigger? Put his stamp on this must-win game with a huge captain's knock? That's captivating.
Absolutely. Okay, moving beyond the sort of obvious tactics, what about the undercurrents? The strategic shifts, the psychological games?
Well, injuries have definitely forced India's hand a bit, haven't they? They're missing Arshdeep, Akashdeep, Nitish Reddy, key guys. And that directly leads to Kamboj likely making his debut. The bigger picture there is it impacts their bowling depth. It changes the dynamic. Might mean heavier workloads for Bumrah and Siraj, potentially.
And here's something else, that psychological edge. Remember Lords? That sledging incident that really flared up.
Oh, yeah. Proper fireworks.
Well, England have kind of signaled since then, haven't they? They're no longer too nice. That feels like a conscious shift, a deliberate move to be more aggressive mentally. That's bound to play a part in this pressure cooker.
Totally. And that ties into this idea of, let's call it Bazball 4.0. It's still aggressive, like we said, but it's evolved. It's more of a control mode now. It's not just about hitting out anymore. It's about applying pressure smartly, strategically, knowing when to push, when to hold back, adapting that high-energy approach to the situation, to the conditions.
Which raises a big question.
Exactly. How quickly can these teams pivot? How quickly can they adapt their game plans, given how unpredictable this pitch might be? Slow, flat, maybe turning, maybe seaming if it rains. Adaptability is going to be key.
Okay, so wrapping this all up. For you, the listener, tuning into this crucial test, what are the main things to really watch for?
Right, let's boil it down. 5 key things, I reckon. 1, weather wheels. That constant dynamic. Rain bringing seam. Dry favoring spin. Keep an eye on the forecast. Daily updates are vital here.
Seriously.
2, batting versus bowling mix. India's pace focus versus England's spin depth, especially with Dawson's left arm angle. Who gets the balance right for these conditions?
Right, the team balance.
3, mental warfare. Watch the body language. Listen for the chat. That simmering sledging, the evolved Bazball attitude. It's all part of the high-pressure game.
Yep, the psychological battle.
4, milestone magnets. Keep an eye on Gill, Rahul, Root. Can they hit those big personal landmarks? That often adds another layer of drama.
Always does.
And finally, 5, the X factors. Kamboj on debut for India, Dawson returning for England. How might these guys, maybe slightly under the radar, unexpectedly shift the momentum? They could be game changers in key moments.
It really is set up perfectly, isn't it? Huge stakes. Series on the line for both India and England.
So the final thought, maybe, given everything we've discussed, what's going to be the biggest game changer in this test? Is it going to be the pitch itself, its changeable nature, or is it going to be the sheer psychological pressure, the intensity of this rivalry right now?
Great question to ponder. Can India stage that massive comeback and keep the series alive? Or will England hold their nerve and seal the deal at home? It's going to be absolutely fascinating viewing, and hopefully this deep dive has given you all the insights you need to really appreciate every single twist and turn